The Kremlin's role on the ongoing crisis in Ukraine's east and Western charges that it is supporting militants have propelled Russia to the forefront of international news. Political tensions and a falling currency have heightened focus on the region. In a series of interviews, Russian journalists from independent media outlets told Reuters that they rarely feel direct pressure to toe the line, but the Kremlin has financial, legislative, and judicial levers at its disposal. Yevgenia Alblats, editor-in-chief of the New Times magazine, says that the crisis in Ukraine ushered in a shift for Russian media.
I guess since the beginning of the Ukrainian conflict, the annexation of Crimea and then the war in the eastern Ukraine, the situation is getting much harder for reporters here. It's harder to get information, it's harder to get to decision makers, people are afraid to give you interviews, people are afraid to be mentioned in the magazine.
As in Soviet days, some news outlets have a direct phone line to the Kremlin, and top editors take part in regular meetings with Kremlin officials to discuss content. Alblats says most Russian media have simply become propaganda machines.
There is no question asked that state media in this country is nothing more but a propaganda machine. I don't consider them to be my colleagues. I am in the business of journalism, and they are in the business of propaganda. Orwell's 1984 can be seen on Russian TV on a daily basis.
Dmitry Kiselyov is the head of the international news agency Россия Сегодня, a large wheel in the mechanism of Russia's loyal state media. When Russia is criticized by independent media in the country or internationally, the establishment is always at the ready to present a counterattack. I believe Russia has the most free mass media in the world. This is first because we have both state media and private media. The range of opinions accepted in Russia is much wider than in any Western country. Here one can say, I like gays or I don't like gays, but that would be a risky thing to do in the West. Kiselyov, who is reputed to be one of Putin's favorite journalists, last year told his primetime audience that Russia could turn the USA into radioactive ashes. Independent media in Russia looks set to have a battle on their hands that does not have an end in sight.